back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Quinn and I'm a stay-at-home mom to an almost 2-year-old, and I run a small business called Crochet. I am actually in between markets right now. My main source of income from my small business has been doing markets. I had my last show on June 2nd, which was the Paradise Goat Festival. My next show is not until the 4th of July. So I have a little bit of hiatus in between my markets, which is gonna be nice because if you've been following along my journey, I have not been able to keep up with the inventory. And I'm hoping that I can use some of this time in between markets to rebuild an inventory. But I've also been taking on some custom orders, which has been super fun and challenging for me. One of them I'm really proud of, and I want to cut back to a clip of me working on it because I don't actually have the custom order with me anymore. I had to turn it in on a specific date. So I'm gonna jump back to a clip of me talking about it, and you'll see me again with like slightly faded hair. Okay, it's gonna be really spooky lighting. It's like 9:30 at night. And the power went out. The power's been out for a little while. I had no idea it was going to go out, and I have a custom that I need to finish tonight. It's due tomorrow, so I'm sitting here crocheting in the dark. I have a little lantern, and if worse comes to worse, I have a headlamp. It makes Frankie go crazy though if I shine the headlamp. Look, he doesn't like it. He gets mad. He wants to fight the light. Also, I'm worried about Frankie because Frenchies cannot be in the heat. See how he's panting right now? It's like 85 degrees in my house, and that's too warm for him. He's very, very delicate. So I'm gonna go dump some water on his head. Yeah, I just want to film a clip real fast before I finish it up. This is what I'm working with. The pattern called for 6 tentacles. I'm only doing 4. There's not that much space left in here anyways. And inside this pot, I have a piece of recycled styrofoam that I took out of something. And then down here is some rocks from outside to give it some weight. And then I actually used some of these poly pellets that I got at the thrift store when I went thrift store shopping with my friend Kat. So like rocks, poly pellet, and then styrofoam. And the styrofoam is gripping the wires when I shove it in. They're getting gripped by the styrofoam, and then they're like into the poly pellets. And the rocks are weighing it down, so it's not toppling over, and that's working pretty good. And so every leaf and stuff, I didn't film any clips of this, I strung the wire through for the leaves, and then I used a hook to pull the strings through, and then I tied a knot, and then I'm going back and hot gluing underneath each spot where I tied a knot at to keep it really secure. And then now I'm going to just probably coat everything with hot glue. I will probably just coat everything with hot glue and then push it down so that the soil is touching the pot. And let's do a shake test. Make sure nothing is gonna fall over. That's pretty sturdy. Oh, it's a shame that it's so wonderful because I'm never gonna make this again. It was so much work. I'm parked. I'm waiting for the person who ordered Audrey 2 to meet me for pickup. And this is just a marker that my daughter drew on me. It's okay, everything's fine. I just realized I did a color change on the head that wasn't supposed to be there, and I might have just mistaken it from like one of the leaves, but I wasn't supposed to do the dark green portion on, oh gosh, on the plantie's head right here. It was supposed to be like a light green, and I probably did that because I was crocheting at like in the morning. It still looks really good. I hope you guys agree. This custom definitely like fried my brain. I have very severely undercharged my work. I'm not even gonna tell you guys how much I charged for this because you will probably scream. And it was fun to do something challenging, and like it's not too outside my comfort zone since I do use the wire already for like in the stems and stuff that I put in here. The customer likes it because it is a special gift for the director of the play of Little Shop of Horrors. There's also like an art appreciation or something like that event next month, and they invited me if I wanted to have a booth there. So I feel like the director better like this planty guy. If they don't, then that's just gonna be really embarrassing for me. I got to finish that Audrey 2 custom from the movie Little Shop of Horrors, and that was largely based off of a paid pattern from Etsy by the pattern creator PippaPatterns, but I ended up using a different weight yarn than what was used inside the pattern. So inside the pattern it called for a chunky acrylic yarn, and I started originally making the pattern with plush yarn, and then I switched to cotton, and because I switched to cotton yarn, I ended up freehanding a lot of the pattern, and I also did that color change on the head, which wasn't part of the pattern, but it was okay because the customer ended up liking it. But the reason why I switched from Posh is because it was coming out so cartoony looking. Look at this guy. It just looks like something out of Mario and not from Little Shop of Horrors. So I have this whole head finished and it's so goofy looking. I'll probably end up saving this for Halloween and then putting it inside of a pot and trying to sell it like that. It's just so cartoony. It's so funny. Nom 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 nom. Mwah. Anyways, I made this little baby goblin from the pattern Kais.Kreations. It was just a paid pattern on Etsy. I made this for my daughter because she has been really into the fairy tale or like children's story, The Three Billy Goats Gruff. And in the story there is a bridge with a troll underneath, and troll tries to eat the billy goats. So she kept asking for a troll doll, so I made this little baby goblin to be the troll that lives underneath the bridge. And I really love this pattern. This pattern was super simple to work up. I love the little three-dimensional like mossy balls on it. The only thing that I do not like is my yarn choice. This is the Mainstay brand from Walmart, and I've had this skein for a while and I didn't know what to use it on, and I totally regret using it on this. I think I thought it just matched the eyes that I made. And I made him for my daughter, but I also made him because I wanted to test out washing these eyes that I've been making. I wash all my daughter's toys regularly, and I wasn't sure how the paint job on these eyes would hold up, which actually filmed some clips of me chucking him in the washing machine. I'll insert those now. So hopefully you can see the eyes have gold stars and random colors of iridescence in them. And I want to send people eyes in the mail, but I want to know that these eyes hold up in the washing machine, or at least find out what happens when I put them in the washing machine, because I wash my daughter's toys. So I'm just curious. I haven't seen anybody else like chuck some toys in the washing machine. My daughter's toys always hold up fine, especially the cotton ones. So this little guy is gonna take a bath. So he's gonna go in here. I'm gonna throw some clothes in here because I don't want to only do a load with him in it. We do use cloth diapers, but I'm definitely not gonna wash diapers with him. But I'll chuck some clothes in and hopefully my clothes don't get ruined. Okay, I totally forgot about this one. I don't have it in a stuffed animal, obviously. It's just inside of this random scrap that I found on my table. I'm gonna throw it in the washing machine with the goblin that's in there and see how this holds up too. Throw. Quality footage right there. Okay, machine is done. Let's check it. Oh gosh. Oop, what happened? Something happened. What happened to you? Okay, it looks like that little half circle that I threw in here. I don't think I weaved in the end, so it came undone. And now it's on the goblin. Okay, pull them out. This looks like an end that I need to tuck in. The eyes look like they survived. Are they scratched? Maybe they're just a little wet. The eyes totally look like they survived. Hey, this is good to know when you wash a plushie, what happens. Overall, he looks great. Oh yeah, this one, those are totally scratches. See, I didn't know this because I've never washed a plushie that has like big eyes on it, just like the black safety eyes. And usually they're kind of scratched already for my daughter. I actually don't remember if they've ever been scratched when I take them out of the washing machine. But more importantly, it looks like the design's holding up. Okay, well now my daughter's awake, but I just stopped the washing machine. The towels are still a little bit damp, but pull this guy out. So the eyes are definitely scratched, but more importantly, they look like the paint job looks good. So I don't really care that the eyes are scratched because I know what would happen even if they weren't painted. And overall, let me get away from my basket of laundry. Oh, why do you have the car keys? You're gonna set off the car alarm. And then here's the little Cyclops guy. Super, like more scratched than the other one. So these are the eyes that you can get on Amazon. And I feel like they were already not as clear, but I'm very happy with how the paint job is holding up. I am hiding right now. Okay, this is gonna be such weird lighting, but I am hiding right now inside my bedroom, sitting on the floor, because my mother-in-law is here watching my daughter, and I just got a package in the mail. It is a mystery box of yarn from my friend Victoria of Comfort Loops. So she told me she was going to be sending me something. Look at this gigantic box. Her handwriting, you guys. Her handwriting is beautiful. You should have seen the letter I wrote her. It's disgusting. Absolutely horrid. Okay, Big Twist Posh. This was my baby. This was my #1 yarn for the longest time. And the tan one, she hooked me up with the Big Twist Posh. She sent me tan and gray and pink. Oh my gosh, thank you. Ooh, she sent me this very beautiful Bernat velvet. I wonder if this is why she picked this one out, because it's very similar to my hair color. This is very pretty, and I really do like Bernat velvet. I have never seen what this is before. This is Loops and Threads Cozy. Did she send this to me because she knew I wouldn't be able to say this word? You tell me how to say this. She sent 2 skeins of it. This one's white with little specks in it. You can't really see the specks that well because we're not in good lighting. It has blue and green specks in it. And then this one is blue with green specks in it. And you know what this screams to me is the Raven and Jade Whimsy Folk. That's what this looks like to me. This is like Whimsy Folk hair to me. We have 2 skeins of Bernat. This one is Bernat Baby. This is the old formula that Victoria thinks is poopy. I personally don't mind the old formula, and I think that this colorway is super, super cute. Did Victoria use this for her Whimsy Folk monster? I can't remember. This colorway reminds me of her monster. And then we have this one, which I think this one is also really, really cute. I can't remember if I told her that this would make a good Whimsy Folk. I feel like I saw this in a store and I told her I wanted it. Last thing is a skein of Big Twist Plush. She knows I've never used this one before, and she sent it to me in red. This is perfect because you can never find red yarn. I can never find red plushy yarn ever. Oh, so sweet. You guys, get yourself a bestie that's gonna mail you a box of yarn that they don't want. So I opened up Facebook Marketplace and I saw this ad. Hopefully I will have enough room on the screen. This ad says that this person is selling a Shongololo for $45, which if you watch my Mother's Day video where I talked about like that you can crochet your mom for Mother's Day, I featured the Shongololo pattern by the Projectarian as like a very beautiful pattern that's on my bucket list to crochet. Somebody's selling for $45, and the person selling it is an old coworker of mine from like a giftware factory where I used to work. So I reached out to them. They said that their mom made it and that they were just trying to get rid of it. So I said, I'm gonna buy it. I have to. That's so much work. That's like hours upon hours of work to make a beautiful, gigantic millipede. I think it's a millipede, right? I don't know. Let's go pick it up. So I did end up getting the Shongololo. Let me introduce you. This is how tall it is. That's amazing. The amount of work that went into this is incredible. Look at this double-stranded acrylic and just like really cute color combinations. Look at this pink one. And then all of these little feet, flip you over. It's very cuddly. It's super, super cuddly. It's just as fun to squeeze as it looks like on camera. Normally when my daughter gets soft toys from the thrift store, the first thing I do is throw them in the washing machine. This guy's not gonna fit in my washing machine. But I do feel a little bit better about it because I do know the people who I bought it from. It's actually some of my old coworkers, and their mom is the one who crocheted this, and I just think that she did a phenomenal job. I really also enjoy the fact that it's not like super stuffed. It doesn't have like a very firm stuffing, and it could be that it had firm stuffing, you know, a while ago, and maybe it's just like compressed and it's been a while, but what a joy. My daughter has absolutely been loving this guy, and shout out to my husband because he doesn't watch my videos. So when I told him that I referenced this creature inside my Mother's Day video, he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. But when he came home from work that day, he was like, that is amazing, and he needs to live on the back of our couch. And I was like, I know, I agree. And he also asked me if I could cut off its butt and make it longer, and I was like, yes, good ideas like that are why I married you. So I'm very grateful to get this bucket list project in my hands. I'm probably never going to make my own Shongololo, but at least I can appreciate the work of somebody else's Shongololo. And my daughter really likes it too. I'm gonna throw him on the ground. My daughter really likes it too. She likes walking on him like a balance beam. Another custom that I finished this week is this Strawberry Girl. This is Sarah the Strawberry Girl by the pattern designer LittleForestMakes. This is a paid pattern on Etsy, and it's so sweet and cute. I got to test out this pattern for LittleForestMakes, and I made a little Sarah Strawberry Girl for my Strawberry Girl. And I actually can't find her doll right now. I'll put up a picture of my daughter's. I used red Bernat for my daughter's. For this one, the customer requested that the dress was pink and sparkly. So I bought the Juicy Couture Velour yarn from Joann's. It was on sale, so I didn't mind buying it. I've never tried it before. It was nice to work with. It's just not as sparkly in person, I feel like. Sparkles are not coming off on camera at all, but it is a little bit sparkly in person. I hope the customer likes it. I haven't sent them pictures yet. The customer also requested that the doll have green eyes to match her daughter's, so I made these custom green eyes for them. And I'm not advertising that I'll make custom eyes for all of my orders, but in this case I didn't mind because it's gonna be for a little girl who's having a strawberry themed birthday party, and I just wanted to be like a little special for her. So the body of this doll, I used a berry colored Bernat velvet, which my friend Victoria sent me in the mail. Thank you so much, V, for that giant box of yarn that you sent me. And then for her little bloomers, I don't know the shade name because I bought this Bernat velvet on clearance at Joann's and it didn't have like wrap around it. But the only modification that I made to the pattern is that I added a little frill on the bottom of her bloomers just to add like a little bit more separation between the leg. And I think it's really sweet. I hope she likes it. I didn't stuff the arms on this, so it's nice and floppy. My daughter loves a floppy toy like this, and so I really hope that the little girl likes it. So I also worked on a couple pattern tests this week. So this pattern test was for Abby's Crochet Corner 23 on Instagram, and it is for this No-So baby rat. This rat is super cute, super fast to work up, and I can totally see this being like a quick market make. I made 3 different ones and 3 different yarn choices. Let me put them in size order. This one I made with Michael's Home Slim. This one is Bernat Frosting, and this one is Bernat Pipsqueak. I believe I used a size 5.5 for these two and a size 4.5 for the Pipsqueak. And here's the size difference of all 3. I really enjoyed this pattern, and I'll be making a lot more for my future markets coming up. I hope customers like rats because I really like making these, and I can see this being something that you sell for really cheap. I know that mystery boxes have been really popular lately, and this can totally be something that you just chuck in a mystery box. I really like this pattern. I believe it is going to be a free pattern when she does release it. It's not on her page as the time I'm filming this, but I'm going to include a link down to her Instagram in the description. Go ahead and follow her so that you know when the pattern comes out. The next test pattern I did was for this Chonky Pikachu. This pattern was really simple to work up. I used Bernat blanket and a size 6 hook. This pattern is by the designer AYOECLIPSEshop. I don't know how you say their name, but it's AYOECLIPSEshop. And this pattern was super simple to work up. The only complicated part was the tail, which the pattern designer included a video tutorial on how to do the tail, so that was really nice. And then I just had to make sure that I had red felt, which I did. And I think it's super cute. I really like the size of it. In one of my older videos, I mentioned that I have some Pokemon in a local card shop in my town, and they told me that they sold all the inventory that I had there. So I'm going to be restocking Pokemon, and I'm going to include this guy and bring him down there. I know it's a little blobby because of the bobble stitches, but I think it's really cute. What do you guys think? This next pattern test turned out enormous. Look how big this guy is. This is for the Cosmo and Wanda Monster Kitty pattern by makailarosecreations. I asked Strawberry Girl what color she wanted me to make this kitty, and she said purples with an S at the end. So I went with purples. For the body color on this pattern, I went with Bernat Dappled, and then the sweater portion. This is the Sweet Snuggles yarn that was on clearance at Michael's, which is a lot bigger than Bernat. For the Bernat Dappled portion, I used a size 6 hook. Then I switched to a 5 with the bigger yarn. And then this portion of the arms is Bernat Blanket, and I used a size 5 as well. And look how gorgeous these eyes are. These eyes were made by MJ Alleyway here on YouTube. I messaged her and asked her if she was interested in doing an eyeball swap. So she sent me some eyes in the mail, and I sent her some eyes in the mail. And she actually included some gifts for my daughter, which was super sweet of her. I wouldn't call this market friendly, but it is fun to customize it, and all the pattern testers did such a great job with their crazy yarn choices and making this monster really come to life. The last pattern test that I did for this week was for this very chunky baby cat. This was from the pattern designer SophieTinie on Instagram. I used Michael's Home Slim for this in a 5.5 hook, and it is just absolutely enormous compared to the example photos that the pattern designer used. This pattern was written super well. I love the back of it. I love all the color changes. I made some special eyes for this kitty. They're a bronze to a gold with some flowers inside. And I think it's super cute. I wouldn't call it incredibly market friendly because the color changes take such a long time to do, but I think that this pattern is really cute. See you later. I just realized that I'm sitting on the squeaky seat from our dining room table. It's making my dog run over. Oh no, Frankie, what was that? Okay, maybe I'll switch chairs.